I look, I'm probably going to be like a Clippers excuse maker, so y'all may not agree with me, but I do think most of the time they've been plagued by injuries. I think they're a legitimate team if they can stay healthy, but that's always the question around them. You know, we saw them a few years ago. They pushed the Suns to 6 games the year that the Suns went to the championship, and that was without Kawhi Leonard. So I can't just laugh at them like they're not a great team. Kawhi Leonard, when healthy, is still one of the best players in this league. Paul George is arguably a top 15 player, probably a little higher in this league when healthy. And I do think that James Harden, despite what what Frank said about the fact that he wasn't brought there for purposes of load management, regardless, Paul George and Kawhi have an injury history. So I think you bring him there, it stabilizes things, because as long as you have at least two of them on the court, they probably can sustain over the course of the season to make it to the finals. So it's always barring all these ifs with them. But I do think they can be a legitimate contender if they remain healthy.
I'm trying to be nice. Let me find words.
No, don't be nice. Don't be nice.
Listen, here's my thing. It is a very talented team, and anyone that is a true watcher of basketball knows that. You've got Paul George, you've got Kawhi Leonard, and honestly, you've got Russell Westbrook, and we need to stop sleeping on that man as well, because he is an exceptional point guard. And is he inconsistent? Sure. Did he have a rough year with the Lakers? Sure.
Exceptional?
But Russell Westbrook to me is an exceptional player that gets slept on very, very consistently. But I digress from that. They are a talented team. Here's my problem. Chemistry matters. You just heard Draymond Green talk about it from last year's season with the Warriors. How do you build chemistry? You play together. So the injury thing is tough. You've got really talented guys that aren't always playing. Chemistry takes time to build. Now you bring in the most selfish player in the league in James Harden. If I'm a long-standing Clippers player, I'm looking at that guy going, the diva mentality of James Harden to me is enough to ruin something great within a team from a talent perspective, because I do know that culture and chemistry matters. And to me, this is a team sport. James Harden is extraordinarily selfish. And so he doesn't, to me, does he fix the issue if Kawhi or Paul George goes out? Yes, but from a leadership perspective, he's not bringing anything to this team for me. So I'm going to be honest, I'm over the James Harden satire. I really am. I'm over hearing about it. I'm over him whining until he gets what he wants. I'm just over it. Like, I'm super done with James Harden right now. I'm just done.
He's not a postseason player, so I agree with you. But he doesn't have to be that guy as long as Kawhi and Paul George are there healthy. So.
Correct. And that's the hard part, though, is that you're like, okay, it'd be different if they've been injured 1-2 times. We've seen them injured for long stretches. Like, so how do you, as a Clippers fan, I wouldn't be sitting back going, okay, it's our year, or, oh, we're so close, because I haven't seen a healthy year since the Broncos beat the Chiefs 16 games ago.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's right.
It's been so long that it's like, you don't even want to put your money towards a team like that, because it's a lie. James Harden is a culture liability, and Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are injury liability. So what do you do with that, right? I mean, they have the potential, but that's if everything goes well, and we haven't seen that in forever. So, yeah, it's just not a team I would put my money on. If I'm a betting woman, which I am, I'm not putting my money on the Clippers. Not doing it.
You know, I'm just so fascinated, Liv and Nat. I'm just so fascinated by certain aspects in all sports where the people who are inside, this is so-called insiders, general managers, coaches, scouts, players, they see one thing in their sport, and the rest of us are left scratching our heads wondering, what exactly do you see? And James Harden is that person for me. Like, a lot of times I can understand why, like when Kevin Durant got hurt with the Warriors, blew out his ACL, and the Nets said, oh, it doesn't matter to us. Oh, we know you're going to sit for a year. We'll take you. I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. It's Kevin Durant. I'd take him injured too. Like, when certain guys are drafted, I understand why they're drafted. What I don't understand is why James Harden, at this point of his career, based on the last few years, he's had a bad 3 years. Just like off the court. Like on the court, yeah, lead the league in assists, all that stuff. 3 years, PR-wise, He's had a terrible 3 years, and yet they still check for him. I mean, that just blows my mind. Like, the league still says, oh yeah, you're going to have to give us assets. I don't get it.
And in
Y'all
terms
get
of
it?
talent,
I don't.
James Harden is good when he wants to be. Like, I don't want a teammate that's good when he feels like it. I don't want a teammate that's good when he wants to be good. I mean, to me, there's just too much of, I don't know, he's just inconsistent, especially in the postseason when he's supposed to be clutch. It's like he's asleep at the wheel. And again, it makes you wonder, okay, if things don't go well with the Clippers, if you are unhappy, if you don't get your way, are we going to get a good version of James Harden on the floor, or is he going to turn on diva mode? That's why I call him a liability. I think it's hard. It's hard to gauge.
My guess is they expect Tyler to maybe reach him. Tyler's known as a player's coach, so maybe they think that he can get through to him and resonate with him.
Maybe. Hopefully.
All right,
for them.
Yeah. Here's my last thing. Last thing I want to get you both commenting on before we move on. And the Milwaukee Bucks, after 4 games, are 2-2. And so their first game, Dame was great. What a debut, 39 points, and it's Dame time. He's a finisher. We could do this all day. And then, they've had some ups and downs since. I know it's 4 games in. I get it. It's very early. Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget, you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.